You're listening to Saturday Morning Media. And now, back to our show. Elf-Centered is made possible by the Saturday Morning Media Patreon patrons. To support the show and hear new episodes before anyone else, become a patron. Visit patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media for more information. And thank you for your support.
Ouch! Ouch! Stop! Stop!
Come on, I am not hurting you. I am just trying to help you sit down.
The helping me sit down is not what it feels like. It feels like you're touching me in inappropriate places.
Oh.
And it hurts.
Can I just say how great it is to have you two back? Like, it's so nice to not be alone here in the studio anymore. And have my good friends just back and here. It really warms my heart.
Yeah, I can tell you, I'm glad to be back. I ain't never leaving again.
No. I'm telling you, every time Bruce is outside with that snowblower, you'd think that he would turn it the other way when we're coming into the studio. No, he just keeps on blowing. I have snow down in my boots.
Yeah.
Bruce is mad at you. I heard it. He's mad.
Why is Bruce mad at me?
Because
why?
I heard that he asked you out, and you said no.
All right, well, we'll get into this. Let's start the show. Welcome to Elf-Centered, everybody. My name is Gavin.
I'm Gary.
I'm Beatrice.
And welcome to another episode. As you can hear, Beatrice and Gary are back. I'm so excited to have you guys back. Gary, your casts, still wearing the casts from your accident.
Yeah, I have to wear the casts.
Yeah.
Plural.
Because they won't, otherwise my legs will get more bowed than they already are. It's funny because now it looks like I was afraid for a while that it was going to look like Billy Barty, his legs. They look like little angle irons. Both of them were crooked. Yeah. Have you ever seen them?
I've seen them, yeah.
If you look at them in Willow, that old movie.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm surprised how he must have the ballast on his left side must be heavy so that he can stay upright. Otherwise, he would...
I have no idea what you're talking about.
his knees bend.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Billy Barty?
You don't know who Billy Barty is?
No.
You would know him, I think, if you saw him. If you saw him, you would know
He's
him.
an elf.
Yeah.
And if he's not, he's got some elf genomes
in him.
String.
Yeah.
He's a little guy.
He's a little guy. I don't know if that's the proper terminology, and we're probably going to get some letters. But he's a person
he's a little person.
A little person, yes.
Small stature.
Of small stature.
Okay.
And yes.
You mention him, measure him in inches rather than feet.
Okay.
We are definitely going to get some letters. But
I hope so, because I have not gotten a letter in a while.
Well, I think it's great to have you two back. I'm so excited. And I would love to know, as he's getting closer with the snowblower, where the heck were you two? First of all, where were you? And then how did you get the call to go to... Can you talk about this? I know it was a secret mission from Mrs. Claus.
Yeah, it was a secret mission from Mrs. Claus.
Can I just tell you that it ended up with me in jail? And actually, the person who saved me was Gary, because he had my passport.
I did.
On the jeepney thing he was driving.
Yeah.
And I got arrested.
That was funny, because, I saw you ripping off your clothes.
Because they were on fire, Gary. I was ripping off my clothes because they were on fire. Because I was... The incense on the jeepney that you had.
Oh, it was. They were lit pretty hot. I like to go on I like the jeepney incense to be strong, because there was a lot of barnyard animals on the jeepney.
Yeah.
They're all going to the airport, I guess, because nobody took their money back. Even though they could have, because I was knocked out.
Oh, Bruce, knock it off with the snowblower!
Oh my God, why didn't you just go on a date with him?
Look, now he's really revving it up.
Man, he's angry. He's so angry. Now I understand why you wouldn't want to go with him now.
I'm not going on a date with him now. Well, now that I have a criminal record.
This is so great, because I still don't know what both of you were doing wherever you are, but every little piece of information I get makes the story even more fascinating. There was a car accident, a jeepney accident.
Yes.
You wound up in jail. You have no clothes. Your clothes are on fire. No passport. Barnyard animals. This story, I don't,
you can't write this. You cannot write this kind of stuff.
I don't know if I want to know.
Well,
at this point.
okay,
So she pulled off her clothes. I thought at first, this is the first thing I heard that they were on fire. Because I thought she was taking them off to tend to my injuries.
Why would she take off her clothes? I'm sorry, Beatrice. Go ahead.
Well, so I came walking down the street.
Yes.
And with a hot little pad thai recipe in my clutches.
You just got off from the airport, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I met up with one of my connections. I can't say who it is.
Okay.
Kirby.
No, we're not supposed to say on the air who I got the recipe from because it could be a national incident, remember?
Sherbert.
Sherbert. We'll call him Sherbert.
Okay.
I come walking down the street. Gary, I wave at Gary. Unfortunately,
That was what distracted me.
that distracted him. And was it a goat that ran in front of the jeepney?
Yeah, it was a...
Was it a goat on the jeepney that got off and ran in front?
That's what it was.
Okay. Gary swerved, and he also didn't want to hit the, there's a lot of people who ride the bicycles that carry people, the human taxis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He swerved so he wouldn't hit that person. Ended up hitting a melon cart. The jeepney tipped over. I ran over to help you. And as I was reaching in to undo your seatbelt, which I'm amazed they even have, my shirt caught on fire from the incense that was there on the dashboard.
And that's why you took all your clothes off.
Because I was on fire and I didn't want to catch you on fire or the jeepney.
Yes, because there could have been a gas leak.
Mm-hmm. And there just happened to be a policeman walking by. My passport was somewhere in the back of the jeepney with my bags. I couldn't get to it in time to prove who I was, that I wasn't,
I was never understood why you mailed your bags ahead of you coming on the airplane.
Well,
maybe that's the new way of things happening. You mail your passport and your bags ahead of time so that they show up and so because like I appreciated it because when I went through your bags and I found all kinds of interesting things that I won't talk about on the air.
Gary.
But
That's why I mail my bags, to keep my privacy, because you never know what's going to happen at the airport.
Well, and it was probably good that you mailed your bags ahead of time, because if you were carrying your bags when you caught on fire, your bags could have caught on fire. Then you have no clothes.
and no passport because the passport would have been in there.
Yeah,
no passport.
and, hello, no recipe.
No recipe.
Because it burned, because I was trying to, use whatever I could to pat out the flames. And I don't even know what happened to you, because I got carted off before I even saw that
Well, they dragged me to the hospital, and that's where these casts came from. Also, speaking of recipes, like I know that you don't know where your recipe is.
because it burned on fire.
Did not burn on fire.
It
I
didn't?
grabbed it before it burned on fire. But the thing is, it's a well kept. That is a national secret.
Yes.
The recipe you got. That is not something that is handed out. That's like Colonel Sanders' secret recipe, or Bush beans.
It's actually a good job you had it, because if I had gone to jail with no clothes and a national secret
You would
recipe
never
for
been in there.
I would be in that. I'm so happy to see you.
I'm glad you
Gavin.
guys are back.
Boy,
Yeah.
boy, we are.
Snow, things I understand, icicles, elves,
Barrow.
Mr. Barrow. I hugged him when I saw him.
That was quite surprising.
It was to everybody, including Mr. Barrow and
Yeah.
myself.
Well, I'm glad you guys are back, because I don't, you guys have been gone for quite some time, and first of all, I didn't know where you were, and truthfully, I'm not 100% sure I do know where you were.
I don't know if
I've
I know
heard-
where we were.
heard these stories. But secondly, I don't know if you know this, but we're behind up here, and there is a little bit of a panic that, right now it's the end of September, that we only got a few months left before Santa takes his big flight, and I don't know. We're behind. Things have fallen into disrepair, and I think, and as much as I'd loathe to say it, I think it's because of the amusement park. I think the amusement park opened and productivity went down.
Oh, it sure did. I mean, we've had to ban a few people. It's really sad.
Ban 'em?
Yeah, because we're trying to do right by the North Pole, and then we see certain people who I'm not going to mention on the air come in and they're there all day and they're spending all of their wages and they're just intoxicated on candy floss and scotcheroos,
yeah.
you know, which have taken off. I can hardly make them fast enough. And,
Yeah.
you know, a little bit of fun has just turned into, well, I mean, I didn't know people could get addicted to amusement parks, but...
Yeah, this is a person on ElfTube. Man, he goes on all the rides and he tapes them.
Oh, I know who that is.
The dedication of that, but there is a bit of madness in that.
Yeah.
He goes on all those amusement rides and he records them all for the audience.
I'm not surprised productivity is down. I mean, when I got back, I couldn't believe it was the same place as when I left.
Yeah, it was. You know. I noticed that it's the outskirts around the amusement park are getting a little dingy. The snow's getting a little yellow around.
Yeah,
there.
there's a few tents that have popped up because people want to be there for when it opens.
Yeah, they want to rope drop all the log flume and all that kind of stuff.
So anyway, so we're behind. Productivity is down.
Productivity is down, but hopefully we can make it up. We still have, we have all of October, all of November, and then most of December. So hopefully we can get it. We're just not where we should be.
Well, what are they planning? Is there any kind of a word of the plans that they're gonna like? How are they gonna if there's not enough? If there's too many people out on working at the amusement park, like, and their toys aren't like, look, they'll come to the North Pole, but if people start getting presents, they start the reason for the season. I mean, one of them.
What I have heard is that right now everyone's just being very made well aware that we are behind, right? And there's kind of this thing, Mr. Barrow was talking about it, where if productivity does not pick up, there's going to be some actions taken.
Yeah, I got a memo about that.
Yeah, and what I've heard, the rumblings, he left that very vague of what the actions that would be taken, the steps that would be taken would be. But I have heard possibly a closure of the theme park until after the season, which is not. I mean, when you think of theme parks around the world, a lot of theme parks do only open for usually the summer season,
right.
But then they are closed for parts of the year. But I've also heard about anything from overtime without pay, doubling up, on shifts, all that kind of, so I don't know. So, but Mr. Barrow told me that I need to tell everybody and tell all of the North Pole that we are behind and we need to pick it up because that is job number one. I think, I forget what Santa always says job number one is, but that's what I think.
Well, I can understand that. And quite frankly, I could use a break myself. So if we have to close the theme park.
I think that's a reasonable option because even like during the season, people typically, there's always complaints that Christmas is coming too soon, too early every year. Like people are going like, oh man, I can't believe it. Labor Day just happened and I already see Christmas decorations in all the stores. So I can see that the people are getting weary of Christmas season starting earlier and earlier. So maybe this is the perfect time because they're not interested.
Yeah.
Right now, or they are, but maybe they shouldn't be, to make it more of a special occasion. When the Christmas is 3 months long. Whew.
Yeah.
Let's work on everybody around here.
I just wanted to point out, I want to apologize to listeners at home. There was a small error here on the board, and Gary, your mic was a little bit low. I mean, we got you. I heard everything you said, and people will too. But during the middle of your conversation there, you suddenly got a lot louder. And it's just, I'm just letting everybody know that that's what happened. That's what just occurred.
I apologize for getting too loud.
No, it's just that I was so busy positioning the mic because of your casts and your inability to move.
Right.
That I forgot to turn on the phantom power for your microphone.
Oh, do I need to speak up a little bit?
No, you're fine. You're fine. You don't need to
Sure, it's okay.
Yep.
I don't need to talk louder?
I'm positive. It's all good. It sounds great now.
Do I whisper song?
No, we can just. I'm sorry I even brought it up. I shouldn't have even because they say don't apologize for your mistakes. Just do your thing. But there you go. I just want to make everybody aware.
There's another word they say. They say never ask permission. You can always ask for forgiveness.
That's right. Do you forgive me?
Yeah.
Gary, I could be mistaken, but I swear I just saw a goat run past the window. Did you bring one of the goats back with you?
I did.
How are the penguins getting along with the goats?
Oh, they're fine. They've saddled them up. They got four saddles because that goat, he took a liking to me. I don't know what it was. He got on that jeepney, and I didn't think he had a passenger. And maybe it was because I had a bunch of I don't know. I was very hairy, as I told you.
Yeah.
I had not. So he actually helped me out. That goat gave me a trim all over. Almost all over.
I don't want to
I'm
know.
not a freak.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
So he really got close.
Yeah.
So I brought him home, and the penguins love him. Because he's fast transportation. He got five. We got four. He can 4 at a time.
4 saddles.
Yeah.
On this poor goat.
Oh, they're light. They're birds. Remember?
Yeah, they're hollow bones.
The hollow bones.
Oh boy. Well, we need to wrap up here. I want to mention the weather. We have snow tonight, snow into tomorrow.
Thank the Lord.
And then for the rest of the week, we will have snow. But that all being said, it is so nice to have you guys back, and I'm excited to have you here.
I'm glad to be back.
Me too.
Home, sweet home.
Well, this has been Elf-Centered. My name is Gavin.
Beatrice.
I'm Beatrice.
I'm Gary.
And this has been Elf-Centered. Thank you, everybody. Oh, we got to get back into the rhythm.
I know.
It's been a while. I was going to try to tell you that I have the recipe. I took when the surgeons were doing my cast. I snuck in the recipe in the wrapping.
I can't wait for you to get your cast.
This episode of Elf-Centered was completely improvised by Jayne Entwistle, Chris Sheets, and Grant Baciocco. Music for this episode by Kevin MacLeod. This episode was edited by Steven Staver. Elf-Centered is a production of Saturday Morning Media and made possible by the Saturday Morning Media Patreon patrons who've gone to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media and set up a monthly pledge for as little as $1 a month. Patrons get new episodes before they are released, behind-the-scenes information, and exclusive bonus content. If you'd like to support this show and the other fun content from Saturday Morning Media, become a patron. Head on over to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media and set up your monthly pledge today. You can also tell a friend about the show or leave the show a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you so much for listening. Elf-Centered is copyright 2019 Saturday Morning Media, Grant Baciocco executive producer, all rights reserved. www.saturdaymorningmedia.com. You've been listening to Saturday Morning Media. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.